The HOA thought they could intimidate me with letters and empty threats. What they didn't realize was that I wasn't just another homeowner. I was the county's chief of police. And when they decided to cross the line, they were about to find out that the law doesn't bend for neighborhood bullies. It started when Nancy, the HOA president, began her little power parade. Clipboard in hand, she strutted through the streets like she was running a government agency. She tried slapping me with bogus fines, claiming my truck was in violation, even though it was registered, inspected, and legally parked under State Vehicle Code 2507.2, which makes it clear HOAs can't override municipal parking laws. When I refused to pay, she doubled down. She showed up at my door with two men in polo shirts calling themselves HOA compliance officers. They flashed badges that looked like they came from a printer at Office Depot and warned, "Sir, if you don't cooperate, we'll have to arrest you for violating HOA code." That was the first big mistake. HOAs don't have the authority to arrest anyone. Only sworn law enforcement officers do under State Penal Code 830.1. I let them finish their little speech while my body cam quietly captured everything. I even acted a bit confused, asking them to repeat their claims, every word adding more evidence. The very next day, they came back in a marked security vehicle with flashing amber lights, zip ties in hand like they were about to haul me off. One of them barked, "Under HOA enforcement, you're under arrest. Step aside or we'll use force." I nearly laughed. HOA enforcement? Not only is that fake, it's a felony. Impersonating a peace officer falls under Title 18 U.S. Code 912. They weren't just bluffing anymore. They were committing a serious crime. I pretended to cooperate, stepping down my porch stairs. But as soon as they reached for me, my training took over. In seconds, the first man was on the ground, screaming as his knee buckled. The second tried to rush me, but one quick move sent him sprawling face first into the pavement, his leg twisting out of place. Both of them ended up crawling, baiting me not to hurt them further. That's when I pulled out my real badge, the one issued by the county sheriff's office, not laminated at a copy shop. Calmly, I told them, "You just impersonated officers, trespassed, and attempted an unlawful arrest. You're both looking at prison time." Within minutes, my deputies rolled up, lights flashing, guns drawn. They secured the fakes, read them their rights, and loaded them into squad cars. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains, realizing this wasn't just HOA drama. This was a criminal takedown. And the story didn't end there, because those two weren't acting alone. Under questioning, they cracked fast and admitted Nancy had promised the money to teach me a lesson. It didn't surprise me. Nancy had been holding a grudge ever since I cited her son for reckless driving last year. She thought intimidation could push me out of the neighborhood. Instead, she tied herself to a federal case. The charges stacked up quick: impersonating an officer, conspiracy, attempted unlawful detention, trespassing. Each one carried real prison time. And Nancy wasn't going to hide behind HOA bylaws this time. When my officers brought her in, she tried her usual smug act. "This is a misunderstanding. I was protecting the community." I slid the evidence file across the table. Statements from the imposters, fake badges, and security footage. Her face fell. "This isn't a misunderstanding, Nancy. It's a criminal conspiracy. And you're finished." The HOA board wasted no time. The next day, they voted her out unanimously, hit her with heavy fines for legal costs, and banned her from ever holding office again. As for her two imposters, they'll be limping into prison once their knees heal, probably regretting the day they agreed to mess with me. That evening, I sipped coffee on my porch while patrol cars still lined the street. The neighborhood was finally free from Nancy's chokehold. And me? I wasn't just their neighbor. I was their chief of police. That's how the HOA learned the hard way. When you send fake officers after me, you don't just lose your power, you lose everything.